Welcome back to the Protest Sports. That was your boy Tone, and I'm back with another video. So ATTG already got. I got right now. Guys, we're doing for all guys. You didn't implement today's video. Got another one for y'all. I'm waiting for Stoner and Nathan to come in from the District channel. Sorry, but man, let's get right to today's video. I actually got Stoner in the building right now. Here comes Stoner. What's up, Stoner? I started a little early. Welcome, man. Welcome. How's it going? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? The hell? Yeah. Good.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
I don't know why I can't hear anything. Give me a second to figure out what's going on here.
You good? Take your time.
Nathan will be here in a second anyway.
That's a bad.
I haven't had this trouble before.
We got to talk about this food tonight.
Make my test. Let's see. Audio. My cat was on here earlier. Dadgummit. To go to backup plan.
I'm waiting on you, Stoner. Yeah, man, we back with another video. Waiting for Stoner to go ahead and get his technical difficulties set up. But yeah, we're back with another video. We'll talk Taylor Heinicke tonight and my thoughts on him as well as Stoner and Nathan's as soon as Nathan does get here. I'm excited to talk about this tonight because we have a hive of fans, which is known as the Taylor Heinicke hive. And they have gotten on my last nerve. I'm getting tired of it. And I don't call people's channels out usually on my channel. I don't do this. But it's not a shot. I'm not sounding like his content.
Sounds like it's gonna be a shot.
I do like this guy's content. I like this content a lot. I'm just tired of this infinity for Taylor Heinicke. I get it. He's rah-rah. He's fun to watch. He's backyard football. Go here, throw this crazy pass. You're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Run for the pylon. Go all in every play. I get that part. I like that too about Taylor.
Mm-hmm. The
moxie. But this Taylor's a starter stuff needs to stop. It needs to stop. Redskins review. Stop it. Stop it. Be militant. Let it go.
Yeah.
Please let it go. For the love of the Lord, let it go. Please. Please, bro. It's not it. Oh, here's Nathan. Here we go. Nathan, welcome.
Going.
I'm on this channel. How's it going, man? What's up, bro?
Not too bad. Tony, how you been, man? Been a long time since we've been on the channel with you.
I know, right? Yeah. It's been a while. Been a long while. I haven't seen you in Stoner. I think probably over a year now. It's been a while.
It's been too long. Put it that way.
Way too long. Way too long, my friend. Way too long. All right. So you know the topic of tonight's conversation. We got to talk some other stuff too, because some news came out. A captain, World 11, got his walking papers today. And also, a bum corner that everybody want to hype up got cut today too.
Bum's a strong word.
I think bum's a strong word.
Acceptable. Acceptable's fair, but bum, I don't know.
Average. Can we just call him average?
He's a jag.
He's a jag. Jag corner.
Decidedly mediocre is the term we like to use on Ref the District.
Disgusting.
Decidedly mediocre. That's fair.
I've heard it before, but I've not used it. I'm going to start using it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
This evening. Disgustingly mediocre. That's hilarious.
Disgusting.
Yeah. So before we get to Taylor Heinicke and the Heinicke,
all right,
and how I feel about the Heinicke, I've already kind of talked about it, and I already talked about be militant. I'm sorry, Redskins. If you don't get mad at me in the comment section, don't get angry. Gotta say how I feel. What are your thoughts on Carson Wentz getting cut? I'll let you and Stoner give you guys thoughts. How you want to go first or second? And Bobby McCain getting cut. And who do you? If it's not Taylor Heinicke's the backup quarterback. Who the heck do you want here
as the backup?
Yes, to Sam.
Okay, I'll let Nathan go first in terms of the whole Carson Wentz deal.
Yeah,
he had some strong feelings when he signed or when we.
I was never on the Carson Wentz train. Not once. My favorite thing about the Carson Wentz trade was that we literally got him for 1 year rental, right? Like that was the best thing about that trade was if he works out, great. You have him for a couple extra years already on contract. If he doesn't work out, you paid $28 million and you're free of him. Like that cut was a no brainer this year because he doesn't count against you. Right. So it's a freebie. The only thing I'd have to say about this cut is I'm surprised it took them this long. Like I would have expected this day one. Like Carson, thanks for your time. Go ahead and start searching for another team if another team wants you. If you're not going to be playing in the USFL or the XFL.
But what's the difference between the day he could have been released until today or up until the deadline?
There's zero difference for the team.
Yeah.
It just matters for him, right? Like if you and he obviously he knows he's going to be cut. The team knows he's going to be cut. The team has outwardly talked about Sam Howell being the only QB on the roster, despite the fact Carson Wentz was still on the roster.
Yep.
So this was a no-brainer. Best of luck to Carson. You know, we asked on our Twitter page, you know, which former Eagles QB had a, you know, worse or better year in Washington. I think we're trying to be positive with it. So we said better year. Donovan McNabb or Carson Wentz. And Donovan McNabb is winning that poll, I think, by a huge margin.
Like 90 to 10% or something.
Oh, it's very, very lopsided.
I mean, like 90% to 10% for Donovan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go. So Donovan McNabb is winning on this one. I don't think people really remember how awful Donovan McNabb was in the burgundy.
That's why I picked Carson, because I remember how bad it was.
Yeah. It was bad. Bad. I actually had the stats up here.
The stats were not.
Don't remind me.
The stats were not horrific.
14 touchdowns, 15 interceptions.
Yeah, he threw for a lot of yards.
58% completion rate.
He threw for a lot of yards.
3,300 yards in 13
That's a lot
games.
In 13
That's not
games.
Too bad.
That's pretty. But still, you're right.
At that time, that's a lot of yards, but 15 picks.
Yeah, and only 14 touchdowns in 13 games. That's not.
Yeah,
that's not going to get it done.
I think people really misremember how bad Donovan McNabb was. Because it's recency bias, right? Carson Wentz wasn't great for Washington. He was not the right QB to go after. I didn't like him last year. I'm glad that they're able to get rid of him and he's able to go find by all means. By the way, I think more people piled on to him about being a locker room cancer. And I'm hoping at least people realize that that's not the case. Like the guy seems like a genuine good guy. Like he gave up a suite to Sam Howell for his family to come see him in his first NFL start. I don't think that a locker room cancer does that. So
I agree with
best of luck to you, Carson.
Yeah, I don't think Carson. Yeah, he wasn't good, right? But when he came in here, and for the relatively inexpensive cost that it took to get what you would hope was a top tier quarterback, and a couple of third rounders, is what it costs you to bring in a guy when the only other guy on your roster at that time was Heinicke, and maybe Steven Montez was your third guy or whatever. So they went out and they said, okay, it was widely reported that they went and asked about every single quarterback in the league.
Including Mahomes.
To include Mahomes, right? So they did their due diligence. And they said, you know what? Carson Wentz is the best we can do. And it's better than going into the season with Taylor Heinicke as your quarterback. And we'll get into that whole how Ron Rivera has consistently over and over and over again passed up Taylor Heinicke to be the quarterback.
Someone else.
But that's what he did. So when you bring him in, you say, okay, let's surround him with talent. So they went out and got a first round pick. They got a receiver. So and then they got a 3rd round pick on a running back. And they said, okay, we're going to give you every possible chance to succeed. And he just couldn't do it. So I was okay with that approach to go in and go after a guy that they could possibly get and give it a shot, instead of just kind of sitting back and saying, let's hope Heinicke can do it, or let's hope this 5th round rookie can do it.
Hey, this is before the 5th round rookie. Yeah.
Yeah. It's even before they had, but I'm just saying, go and just taking a shot at some late round draft pick.
So Tony,
they went after it. And I appreciate that effort. It just,
everyone wanted them. Everyone wanted them to get, Russell Wilson, right? They're like when they were swinging for the fences. Remember that everyone wanted Russell Wilson. Hindsight is our friend here, but tell me, a year removed now, where would you rather be? Would you rather be with Denver, with Russell Wilson, with that cap hit, with the trading of the picks, with all the drama that is apparently surrounding Russell Wilson, or would you rather be where Washington is right now, where you're down a 3rd round pick and that's it?
I'd rather be where Washington is. Let me get to Carson real quick, because I was a Carson guy. I love Carson when he got drafted. I was a Carson guy in college. I am a Carson Wentz fan. I've explained this several times on my channel. I think you guys probably watch me enough. You guys know I'm a Carson Wentz guy. When we traded for him, I said, I don't like trading for him. I'd rather wait till the Colts cut him. They're going to do it anyway. Just be a little patient. Why are we doing this? Why are we getting draft capital? Why are we doing this?
There's no competition, though, if you trade.
No competition either.
Oh, come on. Carson Wentz would have found a suitor, and it wouldn't have been Washington.
But, I mean, the fact that you had Terry McLaurin already here, you had other weapons already. Before you drafted Robinson and drafted Jahan, you still had Curtis Samuel off an injury given, but still a solid receiver. A tight end one, Logan Thomas. We had pieces already. And if you looked at the other teams around the league, like, okay, Tampa in a weak division, but their offensive line stinks. They have weapons, but their offensive line stinks. And what are they going to pay Carson? Nah, probably not. Brady came back anyway. But you get my point. The other suitors didn't seem like they were going to either go after him hard, or they didn't have the requisite pieces around him to succeed.
Sure.
So I'm like, okay, Washington probably was the best choice anyway. So why in the hell are we chasing this dude when we could have just waited and been patient? So that was my problem with the organization now. We trade for him, fine. Okay, fine. I had no problem with the player, said player. I had a problem with how you acquired him. Fine. Then you tell me, oh, we're going to let Brandon Sheriff walk. Let him walk. Fine. We will bring 2 old fools that can't guard a lick and can't run, can't move, can't do anything. Oh, hey, Carson, I know you're immobile, bro, but hey, got immobile guys that's going to block you. I'm going to need you to get out the way. What the heck kind of sense does that make? You're trying to get the boy killed? What is wrong with you? You just traded draft capital for this fool and have all his salary cap space to let this man die.
Not to mention calling 7-step drops, right? Where the guys who are turnstiles. Yeah.
Turnstile Leno, Metrogate Norwell, and the other guy is just in the way Turner from the call. So those guys.
Yeah.
And the thing that really pissed me off, Carson came out there like gangbusters, 7 touchdowns in 2 games. I'm like, 55 points. Oh, crap. We have an offense. Oh, crap. What's going on? We actually have a competent offense. And what happened? Confidence got shot, and we know how Carson Wentz is. His psyche is dead. It's all she wrote.
Yeah.
That was history. So I'm just saying it wasn't all bad with Carson in DC. He started off like gangbusters. Man proved 7 touchdowns in 2 games. Till Heinicke wasn't doing that. No offense, Sam Howell, he probably wasn't doing that either. So I'm not saying it was all peaches and roses in Washington with Carson here. But it wasn't all bad either. That Browns game was actually disgusting. But that Browns game was just atrocious. But overall, I wish Carson number the best. Retire, bro.
He's not retiring.
Carson, hang it up, bro. It's over. It's over.
It's not over. I'm telling you right now.
I know he's not. But
he will be on a roster next year.
He'll probably be on a Panthers roster.
He probably will.
He'll probably be on a Panthers roster with Frank Wright, even backing up somebody.
That's
right.
right.
A bridge.
Yeah.
And best of luck to you. because boy, ain't much over there. Bunch of young guys and DJ Moore. Have fun. Getting killed. Nice knowing you. Don't know what the hell you thinking. I'd have hung it up and go hang with my family. But hey.
Well, he made $106 million, right? He made a ton of money, right? However, if somebody says, hey, come hang out with us for the next 6 months of the year, and we'll give you, $4, $5, $6 million to do that. That you can't, we're not going to ask you 5 years from now. We're going to ask you right now to do this for the next 6 months for $5 million. He's going to do that because he's not going to have that earning power 5 years from now. So he's got to make as much as he can, even though he's made a ton of money. It's never enough. $106 million is never enough. So he's going to be on somebody's roster. He's going to be a backup, and he's going to make some money for another 5 or 6 years, just because he can, because he is competent. Now, he's not competent to be a starter, to lead a franchise, anything like that, but he is competent to be a backup quarterback, somebody who can come into a game, and not throw up all over himself and just get through a game or two while the starter heals or whatever.
I agree with that to a certain extent, though. I agree with it. If Carson Wentz is confident, keyword, this is the biggest keyword in the damn world here. Mm-hmm. Confident. He's a competent starting quarterback when confident. Mm-hmm. Once that man loses confidence, this man's not even a backup quarterback anymore. This man's a third stringer. He's not in the damn league anymore if he's not confident. Mm-hmm. That is the parallels and the pendulum swings of Carson Wentz.
And where is it great?
He's like a borderline top 10 quarterback.
Where is it easiest to be?
It's a crap.
Where is it easiest to be confident? Is when you're just running the second team offense in training camp and you're zipping it in there and there's no tough defenses and you know what I mean?
Or just protect,
my question would be
the guy, or just protect like they did week 1 and week 2. He was actually protected for a half in week 2. He threw 3 touchdowns. He was protected in week 1 and threw 4 TDs, including the game winner. I thought just protect the dude and just don't let him get killed. That's it.
How many former first round QBs that flame out with their first 3 teams end up actually having a successful backup career? How many just even flaming out with their first team, first round QBs don't tend to do that. If you're a late round QB, you bounce around from league to league because that's just your role is to be a backup QB. But there's something about being a first round QB that when you flame out, you're just done. Yeah. You're just, no one's picking you up anymore.
As a starter,
Mariota is probably the most recent example of a first rounder that.
But look how well he did. Look how well Mariota did in Tennessee as a fill-in, as a backup type guy. When he would come in, he was very competent. He did do things well, and that's what got him a job in Atlanta. Was showing that backup ability
in Vegas too.
Yeah. So if he can just do that, if Carson can just do that, just be a competent backup, he's going to do just fine for quite a while.
Let's get to the comment section real quick. So before we continue, Deems, what up? You say keep Taylor. We'll get to Taylor now in a second. Very solid backup. Uptown Dre, shout out to my only channel member. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you stopping by. Yo, my brothers, McCain could have waited. Next Trey. Well, Trey Turner's already a free agent. Logan and Nick Martin. Yeah, I'm tired of him. He can't snap the ball. Andrew Metrogate Norwell. Yeah, he can go too.
We call him Notwell. That's our name for him.
Andrew Notwell.
Andrew Notwell.
We're gonna call him Andrew Hell No on this channel. Andrew Hell No. That's what he's gonna get called on this channel. Andrew Hell No. Not my roster no more. Get out of here. Rather be here. This is rather be Washington. I'm in Denver. I completely agree with that. That's a nasty contract. I feel horrible for Broncos fans. I'd ready to throw hands at Russ myself if I was a Broncos fan. I'd be trying to look for this man's house. I'd be trying to smash his wife. I'm being disrespectful. You have lost your mind. You do this to me. We trade all these players and these picks for this? Oh, heck no. You got to pay for this, Russ. You got to pay for this. I got to find Future. I got to find Future to go smash Sierra or something. It got to be a controversy. It got to be a scandal.
You're bringing Future back into this.
Yeah, I'm doing something. I'm making this man pissed. He has to pay for this. Like, no. He has to pay for this. With all that talent in the draft at corner offensive lineman should trade back and recoup that Carson pick. Well, we kind of recouped it with the compensatory pick for Brandon Sheriff, but why not? We could try to do that. That'd be great. And come out the deal swell. Well, we kind of came out like fat rats last year in that Saints trade. Just saying. Just saying.
Did very well.
Salute to you, my brother. Thank you for stopping by.
Super Chef.
Now let's get to the topic of conversation tonight.
All right.
One Taylor Heinicke, the legend, unquote. I'm saying out my daggone mouth. It's gonna puke. The legend of Taylor Heinicke, the guy that went in 2020 in a playoff game and gave us a nice, fun show to watch. Event broke on himself in 2021. People forget about that. Then last year, everyone's keep bringing 5-3-1, 5-3-1. Oh my gosh, we're winning games 17-15 and 26-21 with 50 rush attempts. Oh my gosh, Taylor Heinicke is so great. Oh my gosh. That bro's fourth quarter pick after fourth quarter pick after fourth quarter pick. But none of my business. What are your overall thoughts on Taylor Heinicke? I saw you guys' video, so I already know what you think when it comes to him being on the roster, but I don't think these guys know. So would you want Taylor Heinicke on this roster, yes or no, and why? And I said, who will be a competent backup for you guys if you did not want Taylor Heinicke on the roster? Anyone could start, doesn't really matter.
Yeah, Stoner, I went first on Carson Wentz. Why don't you go first on this one?
Okay. So, I mean, look, Taylor Heinicke is all those things that you said, that the Hive talks about that he is in terms of his importance to a team, his importance as a leader. All of that is true. All of that is good. But what he can't do is he cannot overcome an offense that lacks certain things. And in this case, for this year, the offense lacked protection on the offensive line. And he could not overcome that, whether it was play calling, whether it was a lack of tight end play, whatever. He was not good enough to overcome all of that.
I agree.
When he was playing just good enough for them to win and for them to go on to the next week and get ever closer to that playoff spot. But man, the coaching staff was just looking for any reason again to pull him.
Fact.
And he had that subpar second or first half against, can't even remember which game that was. San Francisco. Thank you, Nathan.
He looked okay in that first half.
Which wasn't even bad. 13
pulled.
for 18, 166 yards, 2 touchdowns and interception. He did have the fumble as well, but
yeah, he had 2 critical turnovers in that game. And they were just itching to bring Carson in. So Carson comes in the second half, looks pretty good, and then they said, okay, we're pulling him. So again, they have looked, ever since he got here, they've looked for a reason to not have Taylor Heinicke as their starter. Bring in Ryan Fitzpatrick, trade for Carson Wentz, and then pull him when he is on this winning streak. But those were some lucky throws that he was making in these games, and his receivers were bailing him out, especially Terry McLaurin.
That's Terry.
When Terry made that catch against Green Bay on that late third down play, in front of Jair Alexander that he just threw up there with his eyes closed, right? We all saw the pictures and everything. And Terry made that play. And then when he did the one against Indianapolis, Terry again made that play. So he was getting bailed out, but he was doing just enough, but not enough to convince the coaches that he was the guy that was going to lead this team into the playoffs. And they pulled him for Carson Wentz. That tells you all you need to know about Taylor Heinicke as a starter. As a backup, I think he's great as a backup quarterback for any team not named the Washington Commanders. Okay? And it's not anything necessarily against him, right? Because I think he is a great leader. He is a guy that fires up a locker room. He'll do anything for his teammates. He's great at that. But he is such a cult figure in this area, and we've been talking about this from all the way back in training camp, that the second the starter gets in a little bit of trouble, this fan base is going to be calling for Heinicke. Nathan was at the Cleveland game. And he tweeted out video in the first quarter when Carson Wentz threw an interception on his first pass, I think.
First pass of the game.
Right? And that crowd was chanting, Heinicke, Heinicke. You can't have that in this town when you are trying to develop a young quarterback. And he goes out there, and Sam Howell in his first game at home and throws a pick in the first quarter, and that whole stadium's going to be going, Heinicke, Heinicke. That's going to kill
his confidence,
every sort of momentum and everything you've built in training camp and all that. He's an excellent quarterback as a backup. He's great for your locker room, not here in Washington.
I'll go ahead and go real quick, and I'll let Nathan go last. I completely agree with what Stoner just said there. Honestly, I can go out to week 1 versus the Jaguars when you threw them 2 picks. They weren't screaming Taylor Heinicke now, but I heard because I sat on the opposing bench. Every Jaguar fan said, I hope they don't put Taylor Heinicke in the game. Huh? What? Commanders fans saying, oh, we want Heinicke, man. Get Wentz out of here.
Yeah.
It's only a 2-point game. What are we doing here? Like, the dude just threw 2 touchdowns in the first half. Were y'all screaming that when he did that? Were y'all screaming that when he threw 4 touchdowns versus the Jaguars? Were y'all screaming that when he threw 3 touchdowns in a half versus the Lions? So, and my dad at the Eagles game, oh, where Bro Taylor in there? For what? For what? For what? And yeah, we went on this little, as Randall Rio would say, I'm gonna take his saying on it, the Mickey Mouse winning streak is like they like to call it. Oh my gosh, man, he needs to be the star forever. I told everybody the spark is temporary. And right on time, both Giants games happened. He made some good plays. I'm not gonna lie, but those turnovers killed us. The 2 fumbles killed us. The fumble against the Giants when Kayvon Thibodeau got in the end zone. Those 5 turnovers or 4 turnovers in the 2 Giants games killed us. We lost because of those turnovers. And we tied once and lost because of turnovers. Cost the playoff spot. Period. And we was 0-1 in December with Taylor Heinicke. And last season we were 1-2 with him as a starter in December. It's good until December. And everything goes left with Heinicke. Everything. Darn near everything. That's why I can't have him here. Because it's going to be back to a point. If, God forbid, Sam Howell gets hurt and Taylor has to start in December, we're not going to win. We've seen it for 2 years. That's my first point. Number 2, he turned the ball over in the fourth quarter too much for me. I could take first quarter turnovers. I could take second quarter turnovers. I could take third quarters. You turn the ball in the fourth quarter is a pet peeve. I can't take it. I'm going to get pissed off. I'm going to throw hands. I'm going to go out there and fight it myself. Because you can't do that. It's winning time. That's the time to win the game. You can't turn the ball over. Then against the Colts, got bailed out. Then against the Vikings, did not get bailed out. Then against the Eagles, got bailed out by a no face call. No face. Got bailed by that. Oh, Giants game, we didn't get bailed that time.
Well, which one? The second one with
we paid for that turnover.
Yeah.
So that's 4 games. I just named you, and he had 9 starts. That's 4 games. The 49ers game. That turnover was in the fourth quarter, early in the fourth quarter given, but still in the fourth quarter. That's 5 games I gave you out of 9. He's turning the ball on the fourth quarter. Can't have that. Now, as a backup quarterback, I don't mind him being here to backup, being a backup quarterback in this league. But like Stoner said, can't be here. Can't be here. This hive is insane. They think this man's a starter. They think this man deserves every chance to play. Offensive line play. This. He makes bad decisions. Yes, he's throwing the ball deeper now. Shout out to Redskins Review for that one. But it's not hitting no one in stride, my boy. He ain't hitting no one in stride. At least when Carson threw a bomb, hit the dude in stride, dude walking in the end zone doing like these. Hey, the Piani, 75-yarder, bomb. Terry, 55-yarder, bomb. He hit dudes in stride. Sam Howell hit dude in stride. hit Terry Stroud and the freaking Cowboy.
Terry McLaurin had to speed up to catch that. Terry McLaurin's so used to having to like fall back for a catch. He had to go into another gear that he hasn't seen in years.
Thank you.
That's funny.
Thank you. My point. Another reason why I can't be the damn starter here. You can't be here, period. Because the moment Sam Howell does something stupid, oh, Heinicke, please come save us. No, I don't need that here. I need him to have every chance to succeed. If that means going to the former Washington backup carousel and picking up Kyle Allen. I don't care. Anyone but Taylor Heinicke. Anyone. I don't care. I don't care if Stoner's the backup. I don't care.
Oh, I can still sling it.
Nathan. I don't care if it's me. I don't care. Anyone but him. Anyone. Please. Anyone. Please. Raiders, please. I beg of you. Scott Turner. Just take him to Vegas. I don't need him here. Please. I beg of you. Please and thank you. I appreciate it. Nathan, the floor is yours, my sir.
Well, I mean, you guys hit pretty much all the points there. The hive is strong. We're talking about just like the first interception Carson Wentz threw against Cleveland, and they're chanting for Heinicke. They were chanting for Heinicke when we had Jonathan Allen on the ground. Like the stadium's supposed to be quiet because our own player is injured on the ground. Not only that, a key player, one of our best players, is on the ground injured, and Heinicke chants start. So the hive is very strong. My wife EP, she's a hive member, and she wants him, and they all want him back because they love him, and he's a very lovable character, and he's like a down-to-earth guy and all the attributes you want in a backup quarterback. And he should be a backup quarterback, maybe even get a chance to start as a bridge QB for somebody. But it can't be here in Washington because that hive is so strong, and they will be buzzing. The moment Howell, maybe not the first interception, but probably there's going to be some calling for Heinicke with the first struggles for Howell. But what if Sam Howell goes 1-3 in the first 4 starts? You don't think people are going to be like, you got to put in Taylor. The season's lost if we don't put in Taylor. So you can't do that. You're going to have to ride out with Howell this season, and to do that without having someone look over her shoulder and everything, you're going to have to let Heinicke go be somewhere else. I wish him the best, and I want him to be successful. I want to see him 10 years from now, not even remembering that he's in the league, like Chad Henne getting a Super Bowl ring with Kansas City this year. It's like, oh, that's right, Chad Henne still exists.
That's right.
So best of luck. Tony, you brought up everyone likes the 5-3-1 record when you're looking overall. The thing is, when the season's on the line, he was 0-2-1.
That's right.
You can't overlook that. So there's definitely some struggles, some limitations, some of the things that you guys didn't mention. Scott Turner's no longer here. That was one of the biggest reasons to keep him on board. That's the reason why he came to Washington in the first place, was he was a Scott Turner guy. Scott Turner's no longer here. It's not, the playbook is changing. You don't need to bring on the QB from last year because the playbook is different. So bring on somebody new. And as far as like you asked Tony, name somebody who, for Washington to bring in. One, it's going to have to be somebody on the cheap. They don't have, even with cutting Carson Wentz, they're looking at potentially tagging Payne. There's going to be some money sent to other spots, fixing up that offensive line, maybe, replacing McCain. So there's not a whole lot of money really to kind of throw around at a good or high tier backup quarterback. So you're going to have to pick up a low tier QB. And there's also merit to doing that because if you bring in somebody like Jimmy G, or go after a Derek Carr, that's one high dollar, and somebody who's going to potentially, or might, with Derek Carr, probably absolutely beat out Sam Howell as QB1, right? So if you're looking to give it to Sam Howell, if you're seriously considering him as your QB1 and you're going to ride with him all year, unless he gets injured, you're going to have to pick up an Andy Dalton, a Teddy Bridgewater.
Andy Dalton, perfect name.
Yep. Cooper Rush, I wouldn't bring Gardner Minshew here because the Minshew mania follows him, and people will be clamoring for him
cult
as
following.
well. Yeah, so
it's not as bad. It's not as bad as that Heinicke hire, bro.
no,
No,
well,
because
it's bad
it's-
for us here, but he had his following in Jacksonville. People didn't want them to draft Trevor Lawrence because they had
Right.
Gardner
They lost their
Minshew.
damn mind.
That people were calling for Gardner Minshew to start before Jalen Hurts because it's Gardner Minshew, and you would see some of that here. And again, maybe not as bad as we see Heinicke, but that's because Heinicke was a legend for losing to Tampa Bay. So
Yeah, I think
those are the
there's-
names I think I bring in.
Yeah, I think those are great names. I might add like a Jacoby Brissett.
Yep.
You know, somebody who is, well, I like using this word, somebody who is competent, right? Somebody you can throw out there for a game or two if you need to, if your starter, Sam Howell, gets hurt or just needs some time away from the start. But he's not going to threaten his job so that Sam Howell can go in there with a little bit of competition, but not enough to say, okay, you're going to have to look over your shoulder the whole time. He's going to mentor Sam Howell. So that's where those guys come in. And like you said, Nathan, he's going to be cheap. That's probably the most important of any of these because they don't have a ton of room. And they're going to maneuver, they're going to do some things and get more room. But that room that they create in the salary cap should not be used on a quarterback, on a higher price quarterback.
Yeah. And they'll
Get
probably
somebody
draft
in that-
somebody again in the later rounds.
Yeah, probably draft that
Yeah.
Stetson Bennett, something like that.
Yeah.
Let me get to the comment section because all right, look. This conversation is not about Carson Wentz. I already talked about Carson Wentz. I talked about his turnovers. We know the turnover machine. He had a higher ceiling than Heinicke. He had a much lower floor because dude kept throwing picks. But what was Heinicke doing? Turning the ball over too. So I don't know what we're talking about here. Both were turnover machines. One,
They
y'all
were
just
both
love
bad. We can agree they were both bad.
They
Both
both were not
quarterbacks
good
were bad.
enough. But
Yeah.
I saw a higher ceiling with Carson than with Taylor. I saw 7 touchdown passes in 2 weeks. When has Taylor Heinicke ever done that? Has he thrown more than 5 in 2 weeks? Should go look that up. Very interesting. But yeah, both of them were bad. Both don't need to be here. Period. Both can go much faster than slow. In my Louis T voice. Hey, OGs from the DMV. What's going on with y'all, man?
Oh,
Y'all
geez.
some small
Oh,
DC.
geez.
I was going trip boat. I wonder why. I already bought the turnovers, bro. I don't know why you keep crying about it, but whatever. So y'all Wentz when a good quarterback. Hey, 49ers fan, leave us alone. Okay, y'all got your own quarterback problems.
Yeah,
Leave
yeah.
us alone. I don't know if you pointed out that Wentz is a wash-up turnover machine. You're just a Heinicke lover. That's what y'all Heinicke lovers do. I'm not saying you are. That's what the Heinicke lovers do. Oh, what's the turnover machine? He was doing fine. But when I bring up, we ran the ball 60% of the time with Taylor Heinicke as a starter. We were winning game him throwing 23 passes. We was winning 17-15, 19-13. I'm a Heinicke hater. I'm just a hater. Oh, I'm a hater. I'm an a-hole. I'm this.
And when the season was absolutely on the line, the coaching staff went to Carson Wentz. That'll tell you kind of all you need to know about what they think of Taylor Heinicke.
And Stoner, we can go further back than that.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor Heinicke, when he's thrown the ball more than 30 times, 0-3.
Yeah, he just
And on top of that, on the biggest stage, prime time, Sunday Night Football, that man threw 29 passes, turned the ball over twice, 29 passes. Don't give me Taylor Heinicke, bro. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. So not only did they go away from Taylor Heinicke with the season on the line, they had almost an entire season of Taylor Heinicke, and they said, no, we got to trade draft picks to go find somebody else. Right. You know, he got signed to a deal here after the Tampa Bay loss.
Facts.
Because they were like, he has enough to be a backup quarterback here. And then they went out and got Fitzpatrick. And because they were like, he's not a starter, he's a backup, but he's a good backup. Let's have him. But let's go get Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ryan Fitzpatrick breaks his old man hip in the first game. You get almost a full season Taylor Heinicke, and the coaching staff says, we've got to go find a guy.
Mm-hmm.
They picked the wrong one. Now they're back to searching for a QB1. This coaching staff isn't going to keep Taylor Heinicke. They're going to roll with Howell. Heinicke's going to find a job elsewhere, maybe in Vegas, maybe in Tampa, somewhere not here in DC.
Tampa, maybe in Seattle. Maybe they can't retain Geno. Like he'll find a suitor. Taylor Heinicke's not a horrible quarterback. I'm not trying to badmouth like he's trash or something.
Right.
But he's just not who this hive thinks he is. I had a dude. I'm gonna read this comment to you because it really pissed me off. And it took me over the edge. And I just couldn't take it no more. This is the reason I made the video. This is why I asked y'all to be here tonight. This is the reason why I asked for this live stream. This is the reason. I have to find the comment. But just give me 2 seconds. I'm going to find the comment. I'm going to find this darn comment. Because it really...
While you're finding the comment, I want to talk. I see somebody talking about Derek Carr in the comment section there. I'm not a Derek Carr guy. And to say he had no defense in Las Vegas and Oakland... Like they had plenty to do there. Derek Carr is just not the guy. He is an average quarterback, decidedly mediocre.
I think he was there 12. What was it? 12? Maybe it wasn't that long. Maybe it was only 9 years.
I think it's 9 years. Yeah.
In the entire time he was there, they made the playoffs once, and that was like with a 1 game over 500 record. I think, 2 years ago. I think when they made it at 9-8. Maybe it was 10-7. Whatever. They were a barely make the playoffs.
He's never had a wow season. Never. Not once.
There's what was it, 2016?
Yeah, the one time they were supposed to be pretty good, and he was in the MVP discussion, but then he got hurt fairly late in the season. That was a really good year, but it wasn't a wow year. And their entire season fell apart. But yeah, Derek Carr is not the guy either. And you know what? Here's something that we talked about on our show. Well, maybe I talked about it and I didn't get a whole lot of backup on this little story. But
I found it
when it got to week 17 or going into week 18, and after Carson Wentz threw up all over himself, and they were getting ready to go to week 18, the coaching staff says, all right, Taylor, it's going to be back in there for week 18. And Taylor went to the coaching staff and he said, you know what? Go ahead and give Sam Howell the start. He's a rookie. Give him an opportunity. That's not what I want in a quarterback. I don't want a guy. You know how everyone talks about that whole bet on yourself? Taylor Heinicke was not betting on himself. He was not saying, I have a chance to go out here in the last game of the year and showcase my talents once again for everybody around the league so that next year when I'm trying to showcase myself to all the other GMs in the league, right? Why would I give up that opportunity to bet on myself and go out there and have a good game against Dallas? I'm going to let somebody else do it. I don't like that in a quarterback. That really turned me off. That was kind of like the final straw for me with Heinicke, is that he just said, let this other guy go out there and showcase his talents. Sam Howell did. He went out there. He looked pretty good, right? At least his physical tools went out there, and he looked pretty good out there. And next thing you know, you go into the offseason saying Sam Howell's going to be QB1. What if Taylor Heinicke went out there and had a big game? Maybe they go into the offseason and saying, well, we're going to have a QB battle between Sam Howell and Taylor Heinicke. But he lost that opportunity when he didn't even go out there and give it a shot. And that turned me off.
But maybe, Stoner, maybe just to defend Taylor a little bit, maybe he knew to write on the wall. Hey, keep replacing me.
But it's this opportunity to showcase to the rest of the league is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah. But maybe that he knows right on the wall here, and maybe he putting up tape out there around the league for them to know, okay, he's a borderline starting quarterback, more of a backup. We kind of know what he is already. Dude is 30. We've seen him do in the XFL, bounce around here, bounce around here. We kind of know who Taylor Heinicke is.
For sure. You're going to look at the entire
audition ain't going to really help much.
You're going to look at the whole package. I get it, but your last impression of Taylor Heinicke could have been, and I think Nathan threw some stats out there. What if he was 20 of 24 for 310 and 4 touchdowns?
Woo!
You know what I mean? And then that changes everybody's perception of him. Man, he went out against a tough defense in Dallas who had something to play for, and he showed out. Maybe we shouldn't be passing on Taylor Heinicke like we are now. But he said, you know what? I'm just going to leave my tape out there for what it is and see if you want me. He didn't bet on himself. You got to bet on yourself. You got to say, I'm going to go out there and showcase. And
a little overconfident if I say so about Taylor. So all right, this is the comment that.
All right, here it is.
When I read this, I was pissed. I was irate, and I was very, 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 very confused, and just it took me to another planet. I don't know what the heck this is. So I said there's 24 quarterbacks in the league better than Taylor Heinicke, and I could name them for you. Dude replies, "No, you can't. There aren't more than 10 quarterbacks in the NFL that have gone 5-3-1 behind this crappy offensive line. It's just not happening." Taylor Heinicke made several outstanding key game deciding plays all season. He's a winning quarterback with tons of points under pressure, but you do not have the football IQ to appreciate him. He's a top 10 quarterback in the National Football League.
Wow.
Well, when it gets to be
out of here, man.
When it gets to be that bad, those you just ignore.
You just got to walk away.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That sent me way over. I said, ain't no way this man said this out his mouth. I said, what is B. Militant feeding these people? What is wrong? Are they feeding them Taylor Heinicke soup? What is going on? He's having his own brand of soup, his own brand of beer. What is going on these streets? I don't understand. I said, bro, enough. I can't do this no more. I can't. I watch our video. I said, thank God someone agrees with me. Can we just get on here and talk about this, man? And end this, please. Enough. But yeah, I had enough. I'm sorry. Taylor Heinicke's not a top 10 quarterback. He's not top 15 quarterback. He's not top 20 quarterback. At best, he's a top 25 quarterback. At best, I'm talking on the best day, on a good day. It's sunny, it's 70 degrees, there's no wind outside. He has Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, and freaking Curtis Samuel, and go get him, boy. But he might be a top 25.
Yeah, he's a low-end starter, high-end backup. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's 10 years in the league making some good money. Chase Daniels is going to retire, like $160 million?
That's a little high. It's going to be like $40 million. But
I'm looking it up now. I'm looking it up.
I mean, he's not making more than Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz has made $106 million.
But Chase Daniels been in the league forever.
Yeah, he's been in the league for about 15 years, and I think he's made about 60 to 70 million. But the point is well taken. What you're saying is that you
41 million career earnings.
Yeah. What'd you say? 160 million? I mean, you were getting a little deep in there.
Little crazy.
Yeah.
Heinicke played in San Francisco. He'll probably ball out like Purdy did.
Yeah, Purdy is overrated. So that I don't doubt that Taylor Heinicke would do fairly well in San Francisco.
I'm glad Heinicke told him to start Howell, put the franchise in the right direction. LOL, Taylor knows he's the backup in the league anyway. He's had to ensure he made it into free agency healthy.
Yeah, he didn't bet on himself. And he put the team's needs over his. Well, the team doesn't give two cents about, or whatever the cliche is. They don't care about Taylor after this year. Why should Taylor care about the future of the Washington Commanders? He's not going to be here in a couple of weeks. He's going to be somewhere else. So I don't know why he would care going into week 18.
I love it. Thoughts on the ownership? We'll get to that in a second. We don't have that much time left, so we'll get to that very briefly. Bring in some guys like Mike White, John Wolford, and Brett Rippon. Mike White maybe okay.
You can bring in Brett. He's got the name tie to the franchise. He's not going to threaten Sam Howell.
If you need somebody better.
If you go, no, hold on, guys. If things go south, you want them to go south. I'm not, Stoner and I are not fans of tankers. We're not fans of tanking. We don't believe in tanking. That's not the goal. But you play to win the game. But if Sam Howell ends up, not being the guy, and you throw in a guy like Brett Rippon, that's not tanking per se. You're still going out there, but it's at least setting yourself up for a top 5 pick rather than going out there and getting somebody like a Jacoby Brissett and still going 6-10.
Well, you could get it in a
11,
Jacoby
and then you're
Brissett.
picking the 11th pick in the draft.
There's nothing wrong with the 11th pick. You can get a Micah Parsons at 11. You can get a Justin Fields
Patrick
at 11.
Mahomes was at 10.
You can get the guy that you need at 11, at 20, at 32. Hello, Lamar Jackson. You can get those guys if you know what you're doing drafting guys. So that's why I'll never.
This front office doesn't. That's the problem. This
front office might, if they go 6 and 10, this isn't the front office that's picking a QB next season.
No.
So and that's why I'm pro. You got to let, and so Stoner, to counter Stoner's point about going for Jacoby Brissett, they're probably not going to the backup QB until it's too late to turn around the season. You know, you're probably looking at 1 and 7 by the time they're going away from Sam Howell, if they go away from Sam Howell. And if you're going to move away from Sam Howell at 1 and 7, then I'd much rather see another young guy in there than Jacoby Brissett, who you know is not going to be with the team, and who will get you to 6 and 10 from that point.
Yeah.
And that doesn't do you any good.
But if you're sitting there at 4 and 6 and Howell gets hurt, I'd rather have a Jacoby Brissett.
Absolutely.
And so you can grasp at a playoff spot. But I don't. That's where
I'm not going to plan for injury. I'm going to plan that Sam Howell's the guy, and he's going to look good, and you're going with him. So Brett Rippon, okay, cool. You're drafting somebody in the 6th or 7th.
I'll take Mike White. I'll take Mr. Generic name. Mr. 55 overall with no badges. You know what I'm saying? You're doing great pants. 2K references. 16th lowest, 25th is crazy, bro. I'm not doing today. I'm not doing it today. I'm letting it go. I'm letting that comment slide today. You've lost your mind.
And you guys were just kind of poo-pooing on the front office's record in drafting, but it was only about 20 minutes ago. Y'all were praising them for last year's draft and everything that they did to get those picks for the 11th pick.
That was robbery. Last year, they did a great job.
It was 11th trading back to the 16th and then trading back again to get more picks. That included Sam Howell in the top of the 5th.
And possibly a guy like Cole Turner. We'll see about him. Very intrigued. But I'm only saying about the whole draft process.
Okay. Is
because we had a chance to draft Justin Fields. We had a chance to trade up for him. And Ron said no. That ticked me off. We had a chance to draft Justin Herbert. We chose not to. Knowing he not believe in Dwayne Haskins Jr. He knew he didn't believe in Dwayne. He knew this before drafting Chase. He knew this.
Okay.
He knew this.
However,
he knew this and still drafted Chase.
Why did Ron Rivera get the job? He got the job because the owner said your number one priority in this job is to develop Dwayne Haskins. So he can't come in and say, okay, now I'm going to draft Justin Herbert. So I get that part.
Hey, Jay Griffin, Robert Griffin III. Less than 12 months later, Kirk Cousins is a starter.
Yeah, I know. Well, they learned. Hey, it didn't take that long to learn that Haskins wasn't the guy either. It only took 5 or 6 games for them to decide that he wasn't the guy. But his mandate from Dan Snyder was to develop Dwayne Haskins. So I can understand, but it was still obviously a colossal mistake to not draft Herbert or even Tua. I mean, Tua, whatever, with his injuries issues aside,
he was the next QB taken, wasn't he? Tua.
Yeah, he was.
So, everyone likes to point out Herbert because Herbert is having the better career so far, but Tua was really the name. And
Tua's still is going to be something if he can avoid the injuries. Injuries
avoid the concussions, I think he'll be fine. But I wouldn't mind drafting Tua if he didn't have the injury history. But I just say Herbert because I should like Herbert on the Oregon.
All right.
I love Herbert on the Oregon.
Stoner has been championing the Herbert thing since after Chase's rookie year. Like, I mean, even with the defensive rookie of the year thing, Stoner's still like, nope, you should have drafted Herbert. There makes no sense to go after DE when the most important position is QB.
Yeah.
And then there's some merit to that, but and I agree with Stoner. They were not giving up on Dwayne Haskins after half a season of play or whatever that he got in his rookie year. And so they weren't going to draft a QB there. It didn't work out. And then at that point, I think that Ron and company were just committed to the vet QB route. They were just like, this team has enough pieces. If we get the right vet QB, then we can do things. And they just haven't, they struck out and missed on 2 vet QBs. Ryan Fitzpatrick was one of the top QBs available in that free agency. They got him. Carson Wentz was the guy that they wanted, and they traded the two third round picks for him. Just neither one of them worked out. And now was that Scott Turner or was that the QBs? There's a lot of big questions on what if. We don't have to worry about that. We got what we hope is a legit and good offensive coordinator and Eric Bieniemy. And we'll see what he and the young QB can cook up this year for us. Hopefully a lot of good things.
I completely agree with you. Now, I guess we can probably wrap it up with this one. I know you can see you got an hour, and I want to go over the hour, and they got things to do. We're all grown men here. We all have lives. What are your expectations for the combination of Eric Bieniemy and Sam Howell this season? Well, I'm gonna give you guys a multiple choice question because I want to kind of see what you get. You expect? Oh my gosh, we got Patrick Mahomes and EB part 2. Do you expect? Okay, this is solid. I like to see more. C, up and down, but I like the flashes. Or D, oh hell no, both can go. I'm tired of this. Let's start with Stoner.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of high expectations for that part of this team in terms of Sam Howell being a successful quarterback. I would probably lean, of those 4 that you gave me, I would probably lean towards the third. It's to be like some ups and downs, some flashes, but nothing that you're going to go into next offseason saying, okay, we're building something here. I don't think it's going to work out like that. I understand all of the comments about Sam Howell. I understand all of the hopes and dreams of a guy who was supposed to be the number 1 overall pick the year before. I get all that. I understand all that. But 5th round quarterbacks don't normally work out. They just don't. I'm going with the odds here, right? There are a few exceptions, but not many. I'm going to go with the 150 guys in the last 10 years that were drafted outside of the 3rd round who didn't make it, who had just as much talent as Sam Howell had, who had just as much success in college, who a lot of them were hyped up, and they just didn't make it. So I'm a little bit apprehensive about getting too excited, but I will definitely go into the offseason with some hope and some positivity that this team can finally get over that hump, find their quarterback, find the combination, and lead this to a double-digit season. But the odds are against it. The odds are against it.
Nathan?
Yeah, I'm definitely down the middle of the road. I'm not going to be overly excited. I'm not going to be overly down. I think that EB is probably going to do enough that he's going to go around the head coaching circuit again next offseason. So it could be a 1-year rental. And that's the thing. If Sam Howell balls, if this offense goes off, EB is just a 1-year rental for Washington. Because he's going to end up in a head coaching gig because he's proven, okay, I did it in Kansas City under Andy Reid. Now I did it on my own. He's going to get a head coaching gig. That's if things go really well, right? But then if things go really well, it means Sam Howell did excellent. Now let me ask you guys this: if Sam Howell throws for more than 3,000 yards, we'll say low 3,000, in the mid to low 60% completion percentage, 17 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Is that a good year for him? Is that a good enough second year to run it back for a 3rd year?
No,
it's not. You know why? Because that's Davis Mills. That's just not. That's not it, right? That's just. And Mills is very similar to
Wow.
to Sam Howell here.
Wow, that's a good point.
Davis Mills was a 5-star recruit. He was looking like he was going to be a number 1 pick. Like, he's got the pedigree. Injuries kind of derailed him in Stanford. He falls to the 4th round. Stoner will tell you, a couple of years ago, I was on that train. I was just like, if you can get him in the late round, he has the pedigree to do well. He's an okay quarterback. Right. And Sam Howell might just be an okay quarterback.
And you know what? That's a good point. But the thing about Houston, they don't have many weapons.
Sure.
Just Brandon Cooks and a bunch of guys. Like, I like OJ Howard. He's cool. Brevin Jordan is young and learning. Nico Collins is here, a legit number 2 receiver. Like, let's be real. So if Sam Howell does it with the weapons we have here, that's a much bigger disappointment than what.
Yeah, I can see that.
With that. So I'm like, I'd be a little bit more hurt if Sam did that this year. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It's very possible. I mean, this is his first. You got to think this is going to be his first year as a starter. So I know Patrick Mahomes threw for like 50 touchdowns his first year as a starter, but that's Patrick Mahomes.
Mhm.
So I'm just asking people, Timothy in the comment section saying, how about we just wait and see? That's where I'm taking it. Like, let's wait and see. Don't get Ashburned and get yourself all worked up thinking we're headed to the Super Bowl with this combination. But also, don't think, I saw somebody out there saying that they think that, EB isn't it. We don't know that. There's definitely some need to have some reservation and not get so excited. But this right now, the off season, Tony, is all about excitement. There's nothing else to do besides just get excited when your team makes moves. They got the hottest name as offensive coordinator. How are you not hyped? Even if you don't think it's going to work out because this team never works out, it's still, they got the biggest name out there as offensive coordinator. They got him.
I'll take it. As for me, I'm gonna go with the second option. I watched Howell out in North Carolina. I like this kid's attitude. And I'm gonna take another real. I watch all y'all channels. I think y'all guys references every now and then. He's Taylor Heinicke and Carson Wentz did the fusion dance, kind of like Go to the Trunks. And make Go Tanks. And make Sam Howell. Like that's what he is. He's these two nincompoops. If they made the freaking fusion dance and turned to an actual freaking quarterback, that's why I'm so excited. He has the moxie of Heinicke, the attitude, the reckless abandon, everything that we love about Taylor Heinicke. Also, he has the arm strength, the zip it in there that we all thought that Carson Wentz would bring to the table. But I think he's more accurate than both of those dudes.
Definitely.
He has dudes in stride. He has plenty. I'm more confident in the weapons he has around him too.
Sure.
You have a Terry, you have a Jahan, who I think is going to take another leap from year 1 to year 2. I think he was still healthy for 17 games, but that would also help. Do it all guy like Curtis Samuel. I think Cole Turner would take a step up in year 2. Amani Rodgers, we saw what he did in a little bit of action. I'm intrigued.
I love Rodgers. Love
Rodgers. Intrigued. Now, if I see Dalton Kincaid or Michael Mayer, I'm not passing. All right, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But that kid Amani Rodgers is something that I'm very, very going to keep my keen eye on. It's not Logan Thomas. We don't want to cut him or not, so he might still be here as tight end 1. I like our running back room. We have everything. We get this offensive line. That's the 5 guys up front need to block. Damn it, block. Do not let this man get killed. You let Carson get killed. You let Taylor get killed. Do not let this man get killed too. God dang it! Only be 3 for 3. Please don't be 3 for 3 from the floor. Please, miss. Please. I ask y'all to miss this one. Don't get this man killed too. That'd be great. And he's more mobile than Taylor. Definitely more mobile than Carson. Carson's freaking stature. I just really see a lot of attributes I like in him. Now, he is a 5th round pick. Stone has a point. I can't deny that. I can't say, oh man, he's gonna be outlier. Stoner, shut up. No, I'm not gonna say that. Because Stoner makes a great point. So I like Stoner. Stoner brings his research. Appreciate you, Stoner. So I get it. If 150 quarterbacks that picked 4th round later didn't do daily squat, didn't do a damn thing. They weren't in the league after 2 years. I get it. You know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. You had a rookie receiver that was top 5 in touchdowns for rookie receivers that led the league in touchdowns after 4 weeks. A 1,000-yard receiver every year, and another dude who does it all.
Maybe he's just talking about his senior year in college. Maybe he meant to say had
weapons.
Sam barely had weapons. Because there's nobody in the world who thinks that Sam Howell doesn't have weapons in Washington. If there's a better 1 through 3 in the entire league, maybe Cincinnati. Probably Cincinnati has a better 1 through 3.
Yeah, get them boys that.
But nobody else has a better 1 through 3 receiver room in the entire league than Washington. No, so
he's saying he doesn't have Gridiron's doubling down. He's saying that's Washington has Terry, maybe Dotson. So there's a little bit of hating there, but
disrespectful. I mean, you want okay? I know you like Ayuk, and you're Niners fans. You like Ayuk and Debo. I get it. Okay, I get it.
That's 2.
I get it.
I'm saying
Juwan Jennings ain't better than Kurt Samuel. Stop it. God darn, I'm tired of it. Stop that disrespect, all right? I'm tired of it in my comments.
Stop the disrespect.
Stop. You gonna make me curse tonight. The ones I can't get monetized for. Stop it. You make me angry.
But
I really like Sam Howell, man. I'm a Sam Howell guy through and through. I think this kid has it. It is.
He's one of my favorites coming out from last year. I was stoked. I was very happy to grab him.
I preferred Ritter, but if it wasn't Ritter, it was Howell. It was like, okay, don't take Desmond Ritter, cool. Take Howell, I'll be happy. And I saw the 5th round pick, that first 5th round pick.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask.
I can do something. Yay!
Let me ask you this about Howell, just to play a little bit of a devil's advocate, because I don't mind the team going kind of all in on Howell for this season if that's what they decide to do. But every single scout, every single coach, coordinator, head coach watched every play that he ever played in North Carolina. All of them did. And when it came to the draft, they all decided they didn't want him. And when it came time for them to draft a quarterback, 4 rounds of quarterbacks passed as well. They took Pickett, they took Ritter, they took the kid in Tennessee, I forgot.
Malik Willis,
right? All these they saw the same tape that Washington saw, that you and I saw about Sam Howell. And they said no. Until the 5th round when it became a value pick. So just keep that in mind. Yes, people are wrong all the time with drafts. All the time.
I completely agree with you.
But not usually with quarterbacks who were drafted in late rounds.
Now, I will say this, though, to slightly rebuttal you. If he came out after the 2020 season, I think dude's at least a 2nd round pick.
He's probably a 1st round.
Them came out. If he came out the same year as De'Ami, and them other guys came out with Dez Newsome and Ty Chandler and Javonte Williams, if he came out that same draft, he's a 2nd round pick.
Probably.
Maybe a late 1st round.
Right.
Maybe. So I'm just saying that senior year did kill his draft stock.
But it's not just because of his stats. They looked at all of his throws. And they've said he either got worse in his mechanics or decision making, whatever. And they said we can't spend a high draft pick on him because we've got more tape on him. And then they said it's not enough. But again, don't make this sound like I hope he fails, because I hope to sit in there in our stream one day and say I'm a big stupid. And Sam Howell is the future of the Washington Commanders.
Gotta love the howling. Yep, we want to be howling.
I want to be wrong.
Why does it scare me? No one says to be scared of us. Why do you keep saying that? Just respect the roster. I'm not asking you to be scared. No one should be scared. We finished last out division. Why would we be scared of it? Why would you be scared of us? Duh. I wouldn't be either. Obviously. People have talent when they barely do. That's hilarious. Terry, Dawson, B-R, that's about it. All right, so we're going to keep disrespecting Antonio Gibson here. Is that what we're going to keep doing today? Is that what we're going to keep doing today? We're going to keep doing this. Now, okay, if you want to say De'Ami Brown ain't there, okay, whatever. All right. Probably won't even argue with you there. That's fine. But Antonio Gibson, 1,000 yard seasons in 3 seasons, ain't it? What? Whatever.
And they're saying your top 2 receivers are it. Well, that's pretty good. Not every team can say they've got
AG,
2 guys.
Curtis, and De'Ami haven't really done anything. But all right, what's this? I was in Logan Thomas. I hate on Logan. Okay, so that's gonna do it. I think it's gonna do it. I know y'all gotta go. But yeah, I think it's gonna do it for us tonight. We don't want Taylor Heinicke here no more.
Nope.
Sorry, not sorry.
Wish him the best.
We wish you the best. Wish you all great passes in future endeavors. But you don't gotta go home. What's the saying? You gotta get the hell up out of here.
That's right.
Take your hind pots and get the hell out of here. We don't need to see you no more. No more 4 with Heinicke on the back. Give me 4 with Mike White on the back or something. All right. Give me the generic guy. Give me someone else. This ain't gonna pretend Heinicke. Give me Stoner.
Hey man, I've been out in the backyard throwing some darts, boy.
There you go.
I still got a little bit left in this arm.
Give me 4 Protect on the back. I'll go out there and go crazy. Stop playing on me. I'm a 99 overall all the baddest. Stop playing on me, man. But please subscribe to Ref the District on YouTube. They do a lot of great things on their channel, especially their QB1 Pressure Luck series. I've enjoyed it personally.
Appreciate that.
Jimmy Garoppolo episode, that was absolutely hilarious. And your Taylor Heinicke episode inspired me to do this live stream tonight. So shout out to you guys. You guys just hit 2K subscribers. I remember they had DM me and asked how to grow their channel. I said, hey, look, man, stay consistent. Keep promoting it. You guys have great content. People gonna come to y'all. Yeah. And guys just hit 2K recently. So shout out to y'all. Y'all Appreciate keep grinding. Y'all keep pushing. Definitely proud of y'all growth. And I like to be on y'all channel. So it's like, y'all invite me. Invite me, darn it. Can I be on the channel? God.
Yes, sir.
Can I be on the channel? That's great.
Yes, sir. Look, hey, check the mailbox. See if you got something in there.
Ooh, I will definitely check the mailbox.
All right.
But you guys be easy. Y'all have a great evening. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Also subscribe to Ref the District. I will have them in the description, or I have a pinned comment after this thing is published. So sometimes YouTube takes forever to publish these damn live streams. Once it's published, I will have a pinned comment to the channel link. Smash the sub button. Get into 2,500 now. They hit 2K. Get into 2,500 like I'm at. I very appreciate that. Y'all have a great evening. Y'all be easy. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Most importantly, stay blessed. And I'll catch y'all tomorrow. I'll upload every day. Catch y'all tomorrow.
Later. Appreciate you, Tony.